Greetings, RC Model Geeks, and here we are in the shed yet again for part 18 of the Sarik Hobbies de Havilland, Canada Chipmunk build. Yeah, it's hot again today. It's sweltering in the shed. First of all, it's the roll call of honour for the day. Thanks to everyone that has helped out so far with the big shed appeal. If you haven't seen it, go and have a look at the video. A bigger shed is needed if we're going to do bigger and better things. So thank you to Peter, Michael, Havard, Steve, Stephen, David and Gerald. In no particular order, those people, just to the order they donated in. Thank you to all those people so far. I'm always humbled by the support that people give me. It's amazing, and please keep it up, because the shed has got to happen. It's as simple as that. Right, enough of that, on to the real stuff, the build. So I've got the undercarriage mounting plates glued in even, so that's all good. That was the final thing we had to do before we can sheet the leading edge. So I've got my my trusty spacer here, which goes under this trailing edge, just to make sure that the angle is right on the wing, and that's going back under there again. And then we have cut a sheet of balsa which is going to go over this leading edge, basically like that. Now I could use super glue to whack that down and that would be really super quick, but the problem is getting super glue on all these ribs and everywhere and whacking it down at the same time. It doesn't really work that well. So what we're going to do, the top sheet, we are going to wood glue down. It's hot in here, it won't take long to go off, and I'll let that basically dry off over lunchtime. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to put some wood glue all over this lot, and then we're going to get some masking tape. I've already put a couple of bits on in anticipation, and we're going to hold the whole thing down with masking tape. Then we're going to put some weight on it just to make sure that it dries in the right position. Yeah, the wing rather than the sheeting, that is. Yeah, just so we've got our angles spot on. So should we give that a go? Let's get some glue out, shall we? We might as well video it, eh? So using a trusty wood glue here. Along there. Some people go, "Are you using too much wood glue?" Well, I quite like it to ooze out and fill it. This wood glue really evaporates well. You'd be surprised when you do the joints with this 502. When it dries off, you actually have problems seeing where you glued. Yeah, so trying to be quick because I don't want it all to run off the rib. Like I said, there we go, it's running down the sides there. We'll just give them a bit of a wipe off. Get it back up to where we want it to go. And we're in a hurry. We've got to get this on as quickly as possible. Right, it's good enough for me. Oops, let's get this stuck on there. So we're using a bit of masking tape to get it held down. Oh, and then my masking tape's come off. We want to make sure it's pulled back nicely, nice and tight. Oozing is good. We can always wipe glue off. It's difficult to add it back again. So, what we're going to do is get my masking tape, and I can find the end. And then, once we know this is in the right place, we're just going to wrap it round, bit of tape, hold it down at the front, boom. Yeah, we're trying not to distort the wing at all at the moment. There's two. We want to hopefully keep it in the shape that we set with that bit of wood. Right, a bit more there. 3. Bit more at this end here. 4. Yeah, and you basically want to put enough of this sheeting, enough of this tape on to hold everything down. The leading and trailing edge of it. Yeah. You can see it's sort of lifting up as we speak where we've curved it round. So lots of tape. Now if you're so inclined you can use clamps, stuff like that. This way for me it's just as easy. Yeah, and we'll see we're getting some nice oozing, you know, always a good sign. If it's oozing out, it means there's enough glue in there. If it ain't oozing out, you've got to think, did I put enough? As I said, this glue, it goes off quite quick at these temperatures, even though it's just wood glue, you know. Right, before we get too carried away, let's just check our angles a dangle. Right, I can see that's got a little bit of a twist in it. Plonk her down, flat. Yeah, she's good now. Make sure everything's sitting in the right places. There it is. Weight on it. That's starting to come together quite nicely. Right, I'm going to carry on, come back to you when it's glued off. Okay, so the wing is now drying off there. While we're letting that dry off, I need to make some more of these glass fibre parts for the hinges. Now, you know we already made one set for the ailerons and the flaps. What we haven't made yet is the arms that actually come off the wing and the ailerons and flaps bolt to. So I've cut out 6 blanks and I've sandwiched them together with wood glue. Now, they've still got the protective backing on them. So we're actually gluing onto the protective backing at the moment. So once they're all done, we can just peel them apart because we've only glued the protective backing. So I cut them roughly to shape, first of all, glued them all together, and now I've stuck the template on there, and I'm just going to sand those now to final shape, and then we'll have 6 all done at once. Okay, well, after much sanding, there is 6 arms, and that's close enough. All we've got to do now is drill that hole down the centre, and then we can pull these apart, and we'll have basically 6 that are identical. Pretty damn good. Alright, let's get that drilled out, and then we'll see what the final product looks like. Okay, hole drilled. So let's crack them apart and see what we've got. There's one. That'll do the job. There's 2. And 3. Get them apart. Oh. 3. 1, 2, 3. 4, 5, and 6. There they are. All we've got to do is clean them up, and we should be laughing. Well, there you go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All lovely jubbly. So we can now look at fitting those to the wings, or see how they're going to go in there. Yeah, I'm hoping that this wing's pretty much dried off now. It's been a few hours, so hopefully, you know, that ain't gonna come off, and we can handle the wing a bit. Yeah. So what we will do next, I think, is shift that wing out the way. And I think we'll make the aileron and the flap, and then we'll have a play around and see what goes where with these and the other parts. Right, back in a minute when I've got this out of the way. Okay, so to build these this aileron and flap, we're going to have to cut a bit of 1/8 balsa into a taper, which follows the height of each of the ribs in the aileron and the flap. And then basically we can just glue everything together. Well, that's my plan anyway. Yeah, so I think I'm going to get all the ribs out for the aileron and flap, and take some measurements, and then cut this 1/8 balsa. Right, coming along slowly with the ailerons and flaps, but while I think about it, somebody a few videos ago when I was doing the fuselage was asking about the plastruct that I used for the guides for the canopy, and so here it is. Hopefully that will focus on that, and that is the part number of the plastruct. So that was that one, and then there's another one which I'm going to use for the rear guide, which is the one that goes across the vertical fin, and that is going to be that one. So if the camera focuses on it, will all be lovely jubbly. So there you go. Right, I'm going to carry on. I'm just cutting out the main spar for the ailerons and flaps at the moment, so it's taking a bit of time. Anyway, back soon, and it's sweltering hot in here. Right, okay, been busy making the flap and aileron for this wing. I've made it all as one piece at the moment, and when it's finished we'll basically just cut it, and then we'll have our two halves. Much easier to make it all in one piece. Yeah, now when you make this flap and aileron, if you remember when we did the main part of the wing, we had a spacer under the trailing edge of the main wing to get the correct angle of all the ribs. Now the same thing applies when you make the aileron and flap. Yeah, so with the leading edge of this flap and aileron down on the bench, there's a let's call it a twist or whatever in those two. You can use the same bit of wood that you used for doing that offset on the main wing. It's exactly the same amount. It's like 3.2, something like that, 3 mil at the tip, and it's 8 or 8.5 at the root. Yeah, so your tapered bit of wood basically just sits under here, and that's what the taper is. So there it is. You don't build it flat on the bench. So that's pretty much it for the day on this flap and aileron. Yeah, once that's all dried off, what I'm going to do, I'm going to go over all the joints with wood glue and a brush, just to make sure everything is spot on with the glue, because at the moment all I've done is super glue it, and we want strength in this because we don't want it twisting too much. I mean, when the covering goes on, it'll really rigid the whole thing up anyway, but it's nice to have it as strong as possible, so I will be basically filleting every single joint with wood glue, and then leaving that overnight to dry off at this set angle. Then hopefully in the morning we can give it a bit of a sand. We can fit the hinges and stuff, and then we can look at the main wing again and get the mounting of those other hinge points on the main wing done. So that's it. I'm going to call it a day here. Don't forget, look at Sarik Hobbies website. Go and buy something if you feel so inclined. And don't forget to mention that you saw them here on RC Model Geeks. And yeah, we'll see you all in the next video, hopefully tomorrow. Bye.
Thank you for watching Captain Rob's RC Model Geeks. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to click that like button. If you want to see more of the same type of videos, don't forget you can subscribe. If you want to support us, you can use PayPal, paypal.me/RC Model Geeks. If you want to contact us, you can email us rcmodelgeeks@gmail.com. We look forward to seeing you in the next video.